Hello, hope you are good. I'm tired as always, but you're probably sick of hearing that. Harry says hi, Fish says fish. Fish indeed. Fish says fish. Jonathan says hi, bro. How you, Jonathan? How goes your conundrum? You had a coaching conundrum a week ago. Have you made any progress on that, or are you still considering what to do? Jonathan says Verts will go 0-0-15 in the Premier League today for the dream of Karim Benzema. Maybe he needs you to coach him. Maybe that's the missing piece here. They're just showing the lineup. Alisson, Gomez. Stop showing graph. You know when they zoom out and then you can't see the damn thing. Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk, Kerkez. Okay, I'm waiting for the Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Wirtz, Ekitike. Yeah, Isak is injured again because he played a few minutes the other day. But I'm liking Joe Gomez. I mean, I would presume if you've got Gomez and Kerkez at the back in the full-back positions, Gomez is perhaps going to tuck in, Kerkez is perhaps going to get forward, but to be fair, Gomez gets forward a fair amount. And I think he's decent at it, to be fair. So let's see what happens. Tom says mange dog. I still don't know what a mange dog is. Is it a type of dog like a golden retriever? Something like that? Fish did predictions. Oh yeah, of course. What was your... I do check those predictions every week, to be fair. And I always leave a comment as proof that I'm checking these predictions because sometimes people lie. But I haven't checked them today. What's your prediction for this game? To be fair, it's a Liverpool game, so you're probably predicting like 7 million nil or something. But let's see what happens. Tom says, "Wait, you're not a mange dog." I don't know what a mange dog is. Is it like a breed of dog, like golden retriever, pit bull? I hope it's not a pit bull. I don't think I look like a pit bull. Dash hound. Rejected that offer, mate. Mate's checkmate. Good. I'm good. I'm glad you stood up for yourself. I'm glad you showed a bit of tenacity. And you said, you know what? I'm not doing unpaid work for you. Why should I? So that's good. That's good to hear. Fish's prediction is Man United 0, 196 Bournemouth. Wow. That's a few more goals than I predicted. I predicted Bournemouth to get 192 goals. I thought my prediction of Bournemouth getting 192 was reasonable. I think 196 might be a bit far, but 192 I can definitely see happening. Oh, Salah's on the bench, by the way. Bournemouth are wearing their purple kit. It's like the packaging you get on a bar of chocolate. Why would you pick that color? Grace likes the hat today. To be honest, when I was picking a hat, I was gonna pick a basic one, and then I said Grace is not gonna be happy. And it's a true story as well. So I was like, I have to pick a fancier one. Fish says, Google Sinan Bolat. You tell me I look like somebody. They've kicked off, by the way. You tell me I look like somebody new every day. I mean, I'll have a look out of curiosity. But I highly doubt. I'm just interested. Oh, Ekitike. Oh, already. Oh, Jesus Christ. MZ was correct, and Ray was also correct. That was quick. I can't lie. I was thinking about something else. I was like, hold on, what's going on? And then Ekitike just whacked it in. All right, I'll take that. I kind of don't even know what happened. It's like the ball It's like the ball just fell to him in the box, and then he smacked it in. Let's see what happened. So it was a clearance by Brighton, pressing by Joe Gomez. Is that an assist? That's an assist by Joe Gomez. So Joe Gomez very high up the pitch, headers the clearance into Ekitike's path, and then Ekitike just smacks it. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that all day long. This is looking good. How many seconds is that? That's probably just after a minute. Okay, things are looking good. Was it 50 seconds? MZ is saying. Dang. How you doing, Stephen? Stephen predicts 2,147 likes between now and 5 p.m. I'd take that. Sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, hope you are doing good. Hope you're doing good, Stephen. I pinned your comment. I like the comment that you made earlier. So then I pinned it. as you can see. You said, "Hello internet, if you like Liverpool or football in general, you should listen to this man on the YouTubes. He is very good at talking about football indeed." I love that. So I pinned that. It is pinned for everybody to see. P5AM says goal. Yeah, Ekitike scored after about a minute. Joe Gomez assist. Yep, already. Brighton tried to clear the ball. Joe Gomez was so high up the pitch, he just headed the clearance back into the box. And that clearance that he headed back into the box fell right to Ekitike's feet, and he just smacked it in. Great finish, that 100%. He made it kind of look easy. But you're right. It was a good finish. Jonathan drank that 6-pack with my former coach while talking about prime Jamie Vardy and his personality and how cool he was, just like I told you. It's good to hear. 6-pack of what? 6-pack of beer? You've never struck me as a beer drinker. But whatever works for you. Jonathan says, "Never pin me. I'm jealous." Because most of the things you say are not appropriate. I have to be careful. That's the main reason. That must be the earliest goal Liverpool scored since Naby Keita versus Huddersfield. You could be right. I don't recall a goal that early in a long time. But things are looking up. And it's not just the goal. The team is pressing a lot higher. The team looks a lot more energetic. So it's good so far. Zaim says, "Hope you're well." Yeah, I'm good. How are you? That press was outstanding. 100%. I loved how high Gomez was. I mean, firstly for the goal, I loved how high Gomez was. And I love that essentially his defensive header was the assist. Because he kind of defended it and he got an assist with that. So that was really good to see. And also following the goal in the next few minutes, Liverpool have been pressing really high, which we haven't seen in the last month or two. Looking really energetic. So this is good. This is much better. Bailey says, "Boom. Boom indeed." Jake doesn't want to jinx it, but we are unbeaten without Salah. To be fair, I said this last week, so if it does get jinxed, then you can also partly blame it on me. What we can do is we can partly blame it on me and partly blame it on Jake. But you are right. it just makes the whole outburst seem all the more silly. I presume what certain people were hoping was if Liverpool drop a certain player that they like, Liverpool then lose every game and Liverpool have to bring the player back. But regardless of what people's opinions are, and I appreciate it's just a start. Oh, this is good. Ooh, close. Regardless of what people's opinions are, regardless of how much people have been exaggerating what has happened, facts don't lie. Liverpool have been unbeaten since that decision's been made. Neab says, Salah leaving Liverpool? I think so. I think he will leave in January. And as harsh as it sounds, and as ungrateful as it sounds, it makes sense because there was always the contention last year about Liverpool giving a long-term contract to a 33-year-old player. So perhaps this was baked in. Perhaps this was baked into the decision-making process to say, look, we'll give him 2 years. If it's not working, we'll cash in, sell him to Saudi. So I get it, as kind of harsh as it is. Jay says Hugo's goal good, was a good finish. Absolutely smacked it into the roof of the net. Hull says Hugo is so underrated. He's very underrated. And I am happy to admit, when Liverpool signed him, I was very dismissive. I was thinking, why are we buying this guy? This guy's rubbish. I recall saying, I've watched this guy at Frankfurt and I can't see a single thing that he's good at. I think I said something like that. So he's proving everybody wrong. And he's proving me wrong as well. So that's good to see. I thought 70 million was a ludicrous fee for a guy who can't get into the French team, but it shows you what I know. Steven says, thank you, I do mean it. A lot of football commentary or any sport is unlistenable. I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that. People cannot speak without mumbling, getting lost partway through a sentence, laughing in an exaggerated way, etc. I'm with you on that 100%. I find it extremely irritating. I find it quite grating. And that's part of the reason I decided just to do it myself. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words. Zaim says, don't want to make it all around Salah, but if Salah was playing, Gomez would be deeper and not win that header. I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair point. I think it's fair to recognize Salah's skills. It's fair to recognize Salah's merits. But I almost feel like if you recognize the skills and the merits, you also have to recognize the shortfalls and perhaps what the negative impact is on the team. Good defending there again by Gomez. Stops a counter-attack. Salah's great, but let's be honest. For the past 2 years, he hasn't really been defending. And you can accommodate that if he's scoring 1,000 goals. But if he's not scoring 1,000 goals, it makes it a lot more difficult to accommodate that. So I 100% understand the decision. And people will have whatever opinion they have, but facts don't lie. Liverpool have been unbeaten since he was dropped. Ops. This is going to be a dumb question. Does ops mean opinions? Opinions on Minamino refusing to play because he thinks he's not paid enough. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% aware of the situation. Is he still at Monaco or has he left Monaco? And I mean, he's got a contract. I presume he signed a contract. So I don't understand him saying he's not paid enough if it's the contract that he signed. Good pass by Kanate to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai to Wirtz. Ooh, unlucky. P5AM says, after seeing how Spurs gave Son a great welcome back, Liverpool should do something for Mo. He is, I think, irrespective of how things are going at the moment, he's still a legend of the club. Ooh, just wide by Brighton. So I think by virtue of being a legend of the club, he's entitled to everything that comes with being a legend, that being one of them. You'd also expect in the future he'd be welcomed back for Legends games that they do. So they do Legends games twice a year at Anfield for charity. And you get like Peter Crouch back, Gerrard comes back, Torres has come back in the past and so forth. So he'd 100% be welcome back for all of that. But yeah, I think he will likely come on as a sub, and I would predict that's gonna be his last appearance. Jay says, I'm with Michael here. I was watching Sky until I remembered you live commenting the game, which is great. Appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. It's always good to hear because I'm not putting an act on or putting a performance on. I'm just being normal. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was a good save by Alisson. One on one. That's the kind of save that only Alisson and Courtois can make. Brighton just did a through ball out of nowhere, and suddenly the Brighton striker had a one-on-one from a tight angle. Alisson saves it with his legs. Gomez with the shot. We're doing good, but we're not quite out of the trenches yet. Yoo-hoo man says, welcome back, Mo Salah. that wouldn't happen. Yeah, sorry, Fish said to Google this guy. I forgot to do that. Sinan Bolat. To be fair, of all the ones you said, I understand where you're coming from with this one. This one I get. This one I understand. Okay, fair enough. I get this one. I don't know who this guy is, but he looks more like me than Mo Salah. I would appreciate having a slightly better card than that, though. I don't think my card is particularly good. But this one I understand. Gomez, Ekitike, should have done better there. Cut back by Gomez. Ekitike hits it over. That should have been 2. That 100% should have been 2. Steven says, Minamino played on Tuesday for Monaco in the Champions League, for your information. Yeah, that was my current understanding as well. That he was a Monaco player. He's been there for a while. So I don't understand the concern somebody mentioned earlier about him feeling like he doesn't get paid enough. He has a contract. I don't know if something odd has gone on there. Elise to Liverpool. I really wanted Elise when he was at Crystal Palace. He might be a bit more expensive now, but I've heard a rumour that he has a release clause that activates end of this season. So if I for some reason I remember the figure in my head of 49 million. So if he's available for 49 million, I definitely think Liverpool should be all over that. Moscal says, hello, what's up? How are we doing? I'm good. How are you? Not giving up today? Not yet. There is time for things to get worse, but it's looking good so far. How are you? My phone's just playing up, sorry. Give me a second. But yeah, looking okay so far. P5AM says, is Salah's family at the stadium? They haven't zoomed in on them in the... Give me a sec. What the hell? They haven't zoomed in on them with the camera or anything. They might be there, but I haven't seen them specifically called out. Crazy FC guy says Ekatike in capital letters. What a goal. And it was so early. He scored after, I swear it was in the first minute, second minutes tops. I always know when it's an early goal if I just haven't quite set up yet properly. And I was kind of looking at something else. And Ekatike had scored. Fish says fish. Yes, indeed. Bella is so sad Salah might leave. I don't mean to make things worse, but I think he's definitely going to leave. It doesn't change his legacy. I still think Salah's legacy will be the best Liverpool player of this era. But it's probably the right time to move him on. Reluctant Gamer says, who scored nice early lead? It was an Ekatike goal. So Brighton tried to clear the ball. And as Brighton cleared the ball, Joe Gomez was very high up the pitch. So Joe Gomez just headed the clearance back. I'm trying not to headbutt too much because I might headbutt something. But Joe Gomez headed the clearance back. And suddenly it was at Ekatike's feet purely from the clearance. And then Ekatike smacked it straight down the middle. But high into the roof of the net. And yeah, 1-0. Nice finish. Mo Scout is good. That's good to hear. I kind of feel bad for Madrid right now. I never feel bad for Madrid. What specifically about Madrid is causing you to sympathize with them? So they lost to Man City the other day. I was going to cover that game, but I wanted to play computer games instead. So that's what happened. But they lost to Man City. And apparently the rumours are if Alonso loses to Alaves, then Alonso might be out. And Arbeloa, who I believe is the manager of the Castilla, which is the Madrid B team, Arbeloa may take over. It's literally like a Liverpool. It's literally like a Liverpool history type of thing at Real Madrid. Current manager Alonso used to play for Liverpool. Potential next manager Arbeloa, who used to play for Liverpool. Who's going to be the manager after Arbeloa? Is it going to be Robbie Fowler? It's just pretty crazy. Vert's doing very well here. Cut it back to Ekatike, just wide. Ekatike is awesome, says Reluctant Gamer. I agree 100%. He's made me look silly. I will put my hands up and say, in the summer, when Liverpool were signing him, I could not figure out why Liverpool were signing this guy. I went so far as to say, I don't see a single thing this guy's good at, and we're spending 70 million on it. That's insane. So I'm happy he's proved me wrong, and he's likely proved everybody wrong. Who do you think should replace Salah if he goes in January? Bella says Anton Semenyo. The rumours are that it's going to be Semenyo. Semenyo's a good option. And I love the fact that it would annoy that person who abused him even more. So there's an added benefit. Semenyo's a good option. It's dependent on the price. I think that's the main thing. What do we feel like is a reasonable price? If it's around 50 million-ish, okay, reasonable. But 80 million-ish, maybe that's a bit too expensive. But we also have to consider the premium that you pay sometimes in January. I'd say it's highly dependent on what the fee is. Google Captain Halal, says Fish. Nah, I don't look like this guy. I don't look anything like the one you had before was better. This one I look like. This guy I don't see it. Maybe because the other guy looks a bit too young. I believe that's Fish's other account. Come on, Redmen, we got this. 100%. 100%. I want to see another goal. Am I being greedy? What's up with Brighton's kit? It look. Ooh, Ekatike. It's just a weird color. It's like that's the color that chocolate bars come in. Like either fully commit to a pink kit or just fully commit to a different color. It's just a weird shade. John likes it. Fair enough. Must just be me. Most Scouts says, I mean, kind of everything. And yeah, Xabi Alonso may get sacked. Or I would like Zidane coming back for 3 years. Zidane is also a possibility. The only thing is with Zidane, I believe he left on bad terms, which is not the end of the world. Time is a healer, after all. But yeah, the only thing is I think he left on bad terms, but things might be better now. And there's also rumours that he might want the France job. But irrespective, I don't think Arbeloa would be a long-term solution unless he does amazing. Because we also have to remember, Zidane was also the manager of the Castilla, I think, when he got the Real Madrid first team job. So Arbeloa might also be good. What's the beef? Joe Gomez is down. Yeah, I think it's going to be Semenyo. Everything's pointing to Semenyo. Steven says Real Madrid lost last Sunday 2-0 at home to Celta Vigo and had 3 players sent off. They've had quite a few suspensions recently, and I believe their injury table is growing exponentially at the moment. So they are quite short on players, which makes things even harder for Alonso. The rumours are, if Alonso gets... What are these people wearing in the crowd? Why are people wearing... Oh, right. Are they wearing Mo Salah costumes? There's these women in the crowd. Salah's coming on. Who's he coming on for? Someone's down. Salah's coming on. There's these women in the crowd wearing beards. And I'm like, what's going on? I think they're trying to... It's like a Salah costume. But Salah's coming on. I hope it's not for Ekatike. It's on for Gomez. Okay, interesting. Gomez off. Which is a damn shame. Unfortunately not DP. Gomez is going off, which is unfortunate because he'd just gotten back into the team and I felt like he was doing so well. I hope it's not a long-term thing for Salah. Ikram says your shirt fits you perfectly. I'll take that. I'll take that as a compliment. I think it's a large. I think this one. Grace says, "Hey, yay, Salah on." I'm interested to see where he's gonna play. He's on the right wing. I mean, I guess I shouldn't get any points for that. I presume Sabozlai might have gone right back. The ball is on the left hand side at the moment, so I can't really see. Yeah, I think Sabozlai is right back. DP's not happy. I am also not happy. P5am says, "Come on, Mo." It looked like he got a really good reception. To be fair, there's women. There's this bunch of. Ooh, Salah on the ball here. To McAllister. Ooh, Salah should have got an assist there, but to be fair, I don't think that's Salah's fault. I would have expected McAllister to do better. But yeah, there's this bunch of old women in the crowd, and they're wearing fake eyebrows and fake beards, and I was thinking, what on earth is going on? But I think that's supposed to be a Salah costume. Grace asks, who scored? It was Ekatike. Ekatike scored from a Joe Gomez assist, and it was after about a minute. It was really quick, out of nowhere. That's what I was thinking, you know. They look like that. I mean, we're probably showing our age with Bo Selector, but do you remember the Craig David? They look like that, and I was thinking, what? That's why it took me a few minutes to be like, what's going on here? And then I realized it must be a Salah costume. But you're right, proper Bo Selector. Bailey says, imagine if Mo gets subbed off. I'd rather not imagine that. There would be fireworks if that was to happen. I can't lie, it would be slightly funny. And I don't know if I'm sadistic for finding that slightly funny, but let's hope not. P5am says, Shamon. I was tempted to ask if I can get a rewind, but we don't need a rewind. We're 1-0 up. Fish says, Google Bree Bikus Dikus, you look like him. That's a bird. I definitely don't look like a bird. Rank these fullbacks for attacking threat. Whoever that first one is, I'm not sure who that is. I don't recognize that name. Robertson, Bradley, or Risa. Well, I don't recognize that first name. I think it's somebody who wanted to win a Ballon d'Or, but I'm not 100% sure who that is. Ekatike through, but he's got defenders on him. To Wirtz. Salah gets into Boslai's way, but we'll forgive you. Ekatike! Oh, I thought that was in. Cross from Wirtz. Ekatike volleyed it. I genuinely thought that was in. It was kind of curling towards the goal. And then, unfortunately, curled wide. It's encouraging nonetheless. Much better than what we've seen recently. Salah looking for Wirtz, indeed, and Wirtz looking for Ekatike. Fish says, next match cover. Next match is I'm not here. I'm going to Italy next week. So I'm going to miss the Spurs-Liverpool game. So I've not made a cover for that. But I'll be back for the Wolves game. I think it's Wolves or something. So I'll be back for Liverpool Wolves. They do seem to have reverted back to the old formation, though. I can't lie, that worries me slightly. It's starting to look like a 4-2-3-1 again. So that worries me slightly. But hopefully the added confidence they have should make things a bit better. Leah says, how are we playing? Pretty good. Liverpool scored after about a minute. Ekitike goal. And Ekitike is through again here. Ekitike to Salah. So Bosley hits it over. But I'd say Liverpool are playing good. They look a lot more energetic, look a lot more aggressive. In the past few weeks, the team has been playing like they just ate a roast dinner and then went out for a run after that. But it's looking much better today. I'm only slightly worried now because Joe Gomez got injured and Joe Gomez got the assist for the first goal. Joe Gomez got injured and Salah's come on, which has meant they've kind of changed the formation-ish. So I don't know if that's going to have a negative impact, but generally speaking, looking good. Much better. Charlotte says, how's Liverpool's midfield shaping up this season? I presume that's Salah's family. I'm not going to say what I based that presumption on, but they just showed a bunch of people in the crowd in the I think that was them. I don't know. I presume I think that's who that was. So they are there, I think. But I'm purely going on visual, not because I've got it muted, so I don't know. Yeah, just a hunch. Which is interesting, which could insinuate this is his last game. Especially because I think he's off to AFCON after this. And then that takes us into January, so who knows if he'll be back or not. But yeah, everything's pointing towards this being his last game. That's a handball, surely, by Brighton. And a free kick's given. Salah crossed it from wide. But the Brighton defender's hand was at 3 o'clock. So that's a handball, mate. Free kick now on the wide right position. Just outside the box. I'm not expecting much to happen from this, but I've been wrong before. Crossed in. Ooh, just goes over. Pixel says, hello, how are you doing? Especially if Liverpool have a replacement lined up in January, says P5am. Everything's pointing to that. I think that is what will happen. I think Salah will be off to Saudi, and probably Semenyo will be joining Liverpool. It will be interesting to see. Whoever joins, whether they take the number 11 shirt. I just feel like if you take the number 11 shirt after Salah, that's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. What I think will happen is whoever the new winger is, they will not take the number 11 shirt, but Ekitike will get number 11 next year. That's what I think will happen. Pixel got Ryan. Is that Ryan Gravenberch and Sabozlai in my fantasy team? That's how they've been. Nice transfers. I've made some transfers as well. I used, is it Wildcard or something like that? I I ended up selling Salah because I think he's going to be gone. So there's no point keeping him around. I can't remember who I brought in to be honest. I might have brought in Foden. Can't remember. But Foden didn't cost as much as Salah. So by selling Salah, I then had a bunch of extra money to strengthen the other positions. I put Raya in goal because Arsenal are very defensive. Arsenal don't concede, and I had funding for him. And I might have done a few more tweaks, but let's see how it works out. Beard looks polished right now, says Ikram. Appreciate that. Steven says Chelsea 1-0 up. Cole Palmer comeback. Oh, nice. Who are they playing again? Let's have a quick look. If I can fix this and then fix that. Why is it on Wednesday? It's on Wednesday because that's the last time I was here. Chelsea 1-0 against Everton. Cole Palmer, 21st minute. Hopefully this puts Liverpool above Everton. Fingers crossed. Should have brought in Ekitike. I was tempted, but I feel like if I was to add him to my team, then he would suddenly stop scoring in real life. So if I keep him out of my team, he'll score in real life. Yeah, bear in mind you have one for the first half of the season and one at the second half. Yeah, I saw that. I think you have to use the first one by the 30th of December. And then yeah, I get another one to use then. So might as well do it now, 100%. Just don't tell Dexter about it. I need Dexter to finish in position 20. Foden is a good pickup. He seems to be doing well this season. Much better compared to the previous season. Tuari says, has Mo played well so far? He's been alright. He came off the bench, so Joe Gomez got injured. Joe Gomez got the assist for the Ekitike goal. Gomez got injured. Salah came on. He's looked better. He's looked better. Good linking up well with Wirtz. Could have got an assist. So I'd say, yeah, playing better, I'd say. Is Salah leaving this match after this match? I would say so. I think his family is in the crowd. Either his family is in the crowd or they just randomly showed a bunch of Egyptian people. I would presume it's the former, which would lead me to believe it's his last game. Pixel says, "Lol, Dexter got me a Christmas gift. Yeah, you should give him some fantasy tips in return. I also need to stop hating on him for no reason. It's just funny." Liam says Salah leaves Monday. Is that for AFCON? Do you mean for AFCON or leaving Liverpool entirely? Yes, be nice to him. He got me EAFC so we can play pro clubs. Fair enough, to be fair. I think he deserves to be commended for that. I'll have to find somebody else to hate on. I'll see who's in position 19. I'll hate on them instead. Gravenberch, Jones or Henderson? See, these kind of questions are always difficult because Henderson has had his career, you could say, whereas Gravenberch and Jones are just starting out. So it's tough to answer that. Free kick goes to Wirtz. Brighton with every player in the box. It looks proper wrong, doesn't it? I was thinking I can understand the moustache and the bushy eyebrows. But when I saw the lips, I was like, So, I don't care, but some people are not gonna like that. It is very Bo Selector, as I think as you described it. it's verging on Spitting Image. Do you remember that show in the 90s called Spitting Image? It's a bit like that. But I think ultimately it comes from a good place. I think those people, those old women are diehard fans just trying to show their appreciation, I guess. I think. I mean, there might be haters. I mean, if you are haters, it would be a clever way to do it. Wirtz with the shot, but deflected. Gravenberch saved. Pixel says, bro, in my Football Manager save, Salah retired from Egypt the day he left. The day he left for AFCON. He must love playing for Liverpool under me. You might need to give the current management some tips on how to keep their employees happy. But he retired on the day, so did he get to the airport? Did he pack his bag, get to the airport, and then decide, you know what, I just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered from this, I'm retiring. Or did he wake up and say, you know what, I'm retiring, I am done. Is that Lely or one Ellie? Final score prediction. I'm going to go... That's a good question, you know. What annoys me a little bit is Gomez has gotten injured, and Gomez was doing really, really well. And Gomez even got an assist. So if Gomez was still on the pitch, I would have said 3-0. But with Gomez coming off the pitch, I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. He was performing well, I thought also. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I liked how high up he was. I like how high up he was on the pitch to get that assist. Brighton cleared it. Gomez headed the clearance away, and suddenly the ball was right at Ekitike's feet for an early goal. What I like about Gomez is he's defensively good. He's defensively strong, but he's deceptively got a decent cross on him, and he's deceptively got a decent pass on him. So he's actually quite good, Gomez, I think. Yeah, also winning his aerial duels. I don't know if I'm going too far, and I might be going too far. But I feel like there's nothing Joe Gomez is terrible at. If you were to rank every skill, I would say that you expect of a defender / fullback, I'd say at worst he's average, but some things he's good at. I don't know if I'm going too far with that, but he's only what should I say? His only kind of fallback or pitfall is his fitness. Oh, that's a good. That's a good one. To be fair, kind of. I feel a bit silly now because that's the most obvious one. But yeah, we can excuse him being a defender. With that said, when he gets a goal, it's going to be absolutely hilarious. Steven says, Egypt AFCON starts Monday 22nd December versus Zimbabwe. Nice. I will be in Italy, but I think I'm back on the 23rd. So I might be able to catch a bit of the AFCON when I get back. Steven says, oh my God, I am top fan commenter on your channel. This is my biggest achievement since doing the London Marathon in 2007. Firstly, wow, you did the London Marathon. That's impressive. I've always wanted to do a marathon, but I feel like I need to maybe start small. But yeah, no, you are the top commenter, which is good to see. Pixel in his Football Manager save says Chiesa is annoyed at me because he wants more money because I'm giving him actual game time. So I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. You just can't win as a football manager here. So you're saying to me in scenario A they complain that you don't play them, and then in scenario B when you do play them, They then demand more money. It's like, what are you supposed to do here? To be fair, I used to be quite abusive when I used to play Football Manager. If I was low on funds, I would just fine wages of the players I didn't like. I was like, we need money. I'm going to find that player 2 weeks' wages. I don't know if it made a difference, but I found it oddly empowering, which is probably concerning. So you could do that. You could give him a pay rise and then just keep finding him every week. What's the most surprising country that got into the World Cup? Says Ollie. I think Scotland qualified. That could be a bit of a surprise, but you'd have to tell me who do you think? Oh no. Oh, deflected off Canate's backside. Scotland was a bit of a surprise, but I'm sure there's bigger surprises. Zaim says if we were to keep Salah long term, we should have integrated him in the front too, Ekitike and McAllister. Instead, we have to keep him right wing, which brings up the same issues as before tactically. I can't lie, I'm a bit worried about that. I am a bit worried about that. Liverpool found this new shape. Liverpool found this new way of playing, and it invoked a level of defensive stability, and Liverpool were unbeaten. But now Salah's back on the pitch. I'm trying not to be mean, but it kind of looks like Liverpool have gone back to the old tactic that wasn't working. So I can't lie, I'm a bit uneasy. And I think you're correct. The difficulty came, I think, when they bought Salah on for... Oh, Wirtz is on the floor now. When they bought Salah on for Szoboszlai and Salah on for Gomez. Unfortunately, that meant Szoboszlai had to go right back. But yeah, I don't know why they just can't maybe try Salah a bit more centrally. Wirtz is okay though. Kanate signed on a free to PSG. Did you try and keep him, or did you oust him out of your club? Oh, is it illegal? You can't do that anymore. I used to do that all the time in Football Manager. Right click, fine wages, 2 weeks, every single time. Why have they taken that out? That was a fantastic way to passively get... I'd also use that tactic to force players out the club who I wanted to sell. I mean, I wouldn't do that in real life, but since it was a game, I did what I had to do. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, Haiti, yeah. Could be the most obscure. Ollie says Scotland. Scotland was the one I came up with, but that's a good shout. Stephen did the marathon dressed in a Lycra Superman costume. Wow. If anything, that would have made it more difficult. So the fact that you still completed the marathon in a Superman costume is impressive. Did you have a cape? I almost... you can't have had a cape, because the cape would have made it harder to run, surely. But it is impressive. That is impressive. Half time here. We'll pause the timer. It's 3:50 now, and look, it's starting to get dark, isn't it? Which is kind of wild. Cherry, grape, or strawberry? They're all pretty good, I can't lie. Strawberry would be 1, cherry would be 2, grape would be 3, but grapes are good. That's not to say grapes are bad. I never know how to pronounce that, you know. Is it... I'm going to Google it. Is it Curacao or is it Curacao? I don't know. I'm going to say, what's the pronunciation? It looks like Curacao. Curacao. Or is it Curacao? I'm probably still getting it wrong. As did Qatar and Haiti. I think it's always nice. It's always nice to see teams qualify who you didn't expect to qualify, and then it's even nicer to see them do well. So let's hope they go far. Ollie says, have you watched the match or the replay? Watching the match. The whole damn thing. It's half time at the moment. Jeffrey says it's 10-6 here. Wow, so you are 2 hours ahead. Yeah, you're 2 hours ahead. How are you doing, Jeffrey? No blunts recently. I would hope. It looks like everything's going well. And I think a lot of the team doing well has coincided with the formation change. Oh, sorry, you meant the Scotland match. I haven't seen it. I've not seen the whole match or the highlights, unfortunately. But I might need to check out the highlights. Is Robertson still captain? Is Robertson still Scotland captain? Charlotte says, will Rio and Gamoa evolve next season? I guess it depends what you mean by evolve. The thing is with Rio, he needs to be given game time. And you could argue that's one of the areas where the club fell short in the summer. They got rid of Diaz, and the replacement for Diaz was Rio, which is fine if you're going to play him. But Liverpool don't seem to be playing him. I hope he gets a bit of time. In the cups, in the FA Cup now, I think against Barnsley, and then hopefully he can develop from there. He's an amazing talent, but I think talent only gets you so far. You need to be given game time to improve on that. Jeffrey says, this is how you set Liverpool. They play better, 100%. They are playing much better ever since they changed. The weird thing is, this formation, it's quite similar to what they played against Frankfurt, where they won 5-1. And then for some reason, after the Frankfurt game, they abandoned this formation and they went back to the 4-2-3-1. But thankfully now, they seem to have rediscovered that formation. And it does look a lot more compact, and it does look a lot more resolute. In particular, I like the fact that there are 4 midfielders, because what that ultimately means is when you're going forward, one of those 4 midfielders, so the guy who's at the tip of the diamond, can support the strikers. So in a way, you're gaining an extra man there. But it also means the midfielder who is at the base of the diamond can get back into the defense. So you're gaining a man there. So it's almost as if you gain players with this formation, which is one of the benefits. You do lose a bit of width, but that's natural. I think if you add some, because the number of players are finite, if you add something in a certain area, you lose something in another area. But it seems to be working, so let's hope they stick with it. Watch the Scotland highlights. Yeah, I can do. I'll have to watch on another computer though. What is it? Is it Scotland versus Denmark? Scotland 4, Denmark 2? Could it be that one? Oh wow, you did the London Marathon with a cape. That makes it even more impressive. I gotta say, that's a that is a amazing achievement, which is made all the more amazing based on the fact that you did it with a cape. Ikram agrees and Charlotte agrees, which is both good to see. Jeffrey says they tested against Milan. The thing is with Milan, whenever Milan were attacking, I don't know about everyone else, but I never felt worried, which is a feeling that I've not had for a while. Milan would get the ball, Milan would try and do something, but Liverpool had so many players back, and there were just absolutely no gaps between the players that I never felt concerned or worried whenever Milan had the ball. Or should I say, whenever Inter had the ball, whenever Martinez got into position, I was never worried. So yeah, I hope they continue with this. Steven says Curacao, smallest nation to qualify for a World Cup. Population 150,000. Dang, that is small. That's smaller than a lot of cities in England. And England isn't particularly big as a country either, but that's smaller than some cities. But then there's 48 teams, so now smaller teams will be more common from now on. It makes things a bit more interesting, I guess. It's always nice not just to see the smaller teams qualify, but to see the smaller teams put in big performances against the big teams. So hopefully with smaller teams, we might see a bit of that. Jeffrey says, I'm sure Salah will have something to prove. I hope he does. He did come on like he had something to prove. He linked up quite well with Wirtz. But ultimately, I do believe this is going to be his last game. Red Rebellion says, Salah did say he was inviting his mother to the match, and it seems like the camera spotted his family. So this could very well be his final appearance. Yeah, the camera randomly panned to like a bunch of people in the crowd, and I was like, I don't know who those people are, but I'm guessing that's Salah's family. But yeah, it would have to be his last match if quite a few of them have arrived for this game. I definitely think this is the last we'll ever see. If he gives his final goodbye end of the match, then he clearly chose himself over the team. It is insane. It is insane. A lot of people were saying, I can't believe Liverpool have treated Salah this way. I can't believe Liverpool have done this to Salah. What are Liverpool doing? And my view on this is, hold on, let's look at the facts of the situation. Let's take the emotion out of it and look at the facts. Salah has played 16, 17 games straight. Salah was dropped for 2.5 games and then threw a fit. So if you want to talk about treatment, if you want to phrase this like it's some form of abuse, the treatment is just the guy's just been dropped for 2 games and he's thrown a fit. So I found his comments borderline disgusting, but also very disrespectful. And I didn't like a lot of the wording. A lot of the wording that people don't like is obvious. For example, where he was saying things like, I think my position in the team should be guaranteed. No, it shouldn't. Your position is dependent on how you perform right now. If your position was guaranteed, then Gerrard's position is also guaranteed. And I think Graham Souness is free at the moment. Let's stick. Oh, did I? I've been trying really hard not to do that. So if it's just one, that's okay. Let's let's stick Graham Souness back in the midfield as well. He was great. But the thing that irritated me the most was where he was saying, look at what I've done for Liverpool. Look at what I've done for Liverpool. And you have done a lot of Liverpool for Liverpool. But what Salah also has to consider is, look what Liverpool have done for you. Look what Liverpool have done for you. Do you really think if you'd gone from Roma to Man United, do you think your career would have worked out the same? Do you really think if you had gone from Roma to back to Chelsea, do you really think your career would have worked out the same? I just find it very kind of sanctimonious, very selfish, very I was borderline disgusted, to be honest. And ultimately as well, the proof is in the pudding. Liverpool were terrible. Liverpool conceded 3 goals to Man City. Liverpool conceded 3 goals at home to Forest, and Forest are rubbish because even Everton beat Forest. Liverpool then conceded 4 goals at home to PSV. So Liverpool, with Salah in the team, conceded 10 goals in 3 games. Liverpool then dropped Salah from the team and are unbeaten. So people can frame this as people can use whatever terms they want, but facts don't lie. Salah was only dropped for a couple of games, and when Salah was dropped for those few games, form improved. Oh yeah, sorry. Ali said the Scotland game. All the highlights are like 10 minutes. I might have to watch that separately because the game's restarting here. Reluctant says, is Salah playing? He is playing. He's come off the bench though, so he was not in the starting lineup. Joe Gomez got injured, unfortunately, and Salah came on for Joe Gomez. I don't know the exact timing, but perhaps around about the 20-minute mark. Salah threw his toys when he was benched versus Frankfurt. He removed the club from all his social media accounts, so the problems have been around for more than just 1 week. It's a common pattern. Unfortunately, it's a common pattern. When he was dropped by Klopp, I remember the little argument they had on the touchline, and it was a little argument where Darwin Núñez had to calm Salah down publicly. And if you're ever in a situation where Darwin Núñez is calming you down, then you're probably in the wrong. They're about to kick off, yeah, second half. What do you think of Gerrard's comment on Salah, as his comments were sort of less harsh and more understanding, but Carragher went all out? What's your thoughts on each comment? I thought Gerrard's comment, you can see based on the comments that Gerrard has been a manager and Carragher's not been a manager. I'm not saying one's correct and one's incorrect, but you can see based on how things have been phrased, you could see Gerrard's managed players before and Carragher hasn't. I think both were correct. To be honest, even though I find Carragher annoying as a pundit, I kind of liked Carragher's comments a bit more because I was also very angry at the time. So I like the fact that Carragher was a bit unfiltered, to be honest. What I didn't like perhaps was that Carragher was continuing the beef on Twitter. It's like, okay, bro, you've said your thing. You've knocked him out. You don't need to continue kicking him whilst he's on the floor. So maybe we went a bit too far as when he was continuing the beef on Twitter. But in terms of if you just consider what he said as a thing, I agreed with it. Would I have done that? I don't know. To be honest, I probably would have. Nothing struck me as too unreasonable. The only thing I think that Carragher said which was unreasonable was where he was saying Salah hasn't defended for 8 years. I think that bit is incorrect. Salah did used to defend back in the day. And let's be honest, Salah had to defend because Trent was behind him. So I think that bit was perhaps unfair, but I agree. I agreed with most of it. Let's put it that way. They've started. I'm on 47 minutes, by the way. But yeah, I went on about this for about 3 hours last week. Let's just set this back. Reluctant says, I heard somebody comment about Slot. Should have called Salah in the office for not playing the 3 games before his comment. So you think Slot is at fault slightly for Salah outburst under the bus? To be honest, I don't know what has happened behind closed doors and what has not happened behind closed doors. If for argument's sake, Slot did not call Salah into the office to explain the situation, I would say, okay, that's perhaps a misstep. So I can perhaps sympathize with Salah there. But ultimately, this could also be people just making things up to support their viewpoint. Ultimately, we don't know if Slot has had a conversation with Salah or Slot has not had a conversation with Salah. So we can only guess, really. I would find it very unlikely, given that we're in 2025 and verbal communication is a bigger thing these days. I appreciate things back in the day were a lot more autocratic, whereas manager says do this and you must do this, you must follow orders. I don't think things work like that in management these days. So I would be extremely surprised if Slot didn't do that. But I don't know, to be honest, I'm guessing. Jeffrey says, personally, I feel both Slot and Salah are at fault. That would make more sense. That would make the most sense that there is probably a degree of blame on both sides. Unfortunately for us, we only really know what happened in public, so it's tough to make a definitive conclusion either way. But in terms of the concept, I have no problem with Salah getting dropped if he hasn't performed. Because Salah getting dropped is not an isolated piece. Before to getting dropped, you had Ekitike running past the whole team, but just goes wide. Before getting dropped, you did have 17 games where you did nothing. So you had a big chance there. I'd understand if Liverpool bought Wirtz and Ekitike in August, and then they said, you know what, we got Wirtz and Ekitike now. That's like a PS5. We don't need Salah anymore. That's like a PS4. We're just going to chuck Salah out of the team in August. That I would understand. But it's December. Salah's had 3 months to prove himself. So I think it's an overreaction on Salah's part. Liverpool do need Liverpool do need a second goal. Nobody asked Salah to go to the media. He made his bed and now he has to sleep in it. I think that's fair. What I will say is Salah does have a tendency to go to the media when he needs something. Salah wants a new contract, he'll go to the media. Salah wants more money, he'll go to the media. Salah wants more playtime, he'll go to the media. You know when Salah won't go to the media? When Liverpool get battered 3-0 by Man City. You know when Salah won't go to the media? When Liverpool get battered 3-0 by Forest. You know when Salah won't go to the media? When Liverpool get battered 4-1 by PSV. I just think this time he maybe went a bit too far, perhaps. Amon says Salah has a bigger resume than Slot for Liverpool. But Graham Souness has a bigger resume than Salah and Slot. So should we stick Graham Souness in this team? Graham Souness in the team against Spurs. Perhaps we could put Graham Souness and Phil Thompson in the team because they've both got massive resumes. Maybe see if Kenny Dalglish feels like having a bit of a kickabout as well. When you actually think about these things and take the emotion out of them, suddenly they make a lot less sense. Reluctant says, I think Slot should have told Salah the reason why he didn't start 3 games because we already know Salah will come out publicly. But yeah, I think both wrong in certain ways. I think ultimately we don't know what's happened behind closed doors, so it makes things a lot more difficult and it makes it a lot harder to form a definitive conclusion. I would be very surprised, especially in modern day where communication is such a big thing. I'd be very surprised if the manager has not communicated with him that you're going to be dropped. I think the facts of the situation are so bad and are so scathing on Salah. I think perhaps certain people are making things up, saying, Slot didn't talk to him privately. I think when people have to resort to creating imaginary scenarios that they don't have proof of, and I mean Liverpool fans, they do this sometimes. When they create imaginary scenarios that they don't have proof of, I think they've lost the argument there because the facts that they do know are so damning, they then have to invent scenarios. I thought you were Mo at the minute. I'm Salah if he eats pizza twice a week and doesn't exercise anywhere near as frequently. Slot was almost getting sacked, so he was getting stuff wrong. But Salah is more in the wrong to go publicly. That's why the club has backed Salah over Slot for now. What Salah did was so silly because Salah wanted to play. And I feel like if Salah had just kept his mouth shut, there's a chance that Slot would have been sacked, Liverpool would have gotten Alonso or Raiola or someone, and you just know as soon as a new manager comes in, Salah would have started. But unfortunately for Salah, by Salah opening his mouth, number one, and by Salah also publicly criticising the club, and by Salah publicly criticising the management of the club, Slot was the biggest problem, but now Salah's made himself the biggest problem. So by opening your mouth, you've made yourself the biggest problem, and now the club is forced to back the manager. Like people say these players are intelligent. No, they're not. They're not intelligent. They're actually not that intelligent, which you can see based on some of the things they say after they retire. They're good at football, but they will do dumb things. And I think this is an example of that. And this is also why media training is such a big thing. This is why whenever they do interviews, if you notice, they very rarely actually answer the question that the interviewer poses. Media training is a big thing. It's really interesting. If you watch the next post match, I've said it again. If you watch the next post match interview, just wide from Brighton, interviewer will ask a question, but the player, whether it's Van Dijk, whether it's Curtis Jones, whether it's whoever, will not directly answer that question. And it's why media training is such a big deal. The General says, afternoon, how are you doing? I have to remind myself it's afternoon because it's pitch black outside. But it is the time of the year. Reluctant Gamer agrees with Zaim. Charlotte agrees with potentially Zaim, potentially me. Zaim says, Slot has handled the media publicly well. There's no reason to stoop to Salah's level and reveal behind the scenes reasons and details. 100%. 100%. There's no reason to do that now, because slot is in an advantageous position. Slot doesn't need to, as an example, throw another punch. If you're winning the round, if you're about to win the fight, you don't need to throw an uppercut, because if you throw an uppercut, you might get countered with a jab, and then you might be on the floor. Steven says, "Are you interested in a co-commentator? I'm free and I will laugh like a maniac at all your jokes." I need to figure out how to do that in terms of adding people in. So yeah, leave it with me. I'll figure out kind of how I can add people then, because I don't just stream on YouTube. I stream in everywhere, so the way I have to add people in has to be a bit different. But leave it with me. I'll figure out a way we can do that. And to be honest, not just Steven, anybody, same reluctant gamer. If you're interested, I can add you guys on. I just need to figure out how to make it work first. He's going for it, says Bailey. As in what? As in Salah's going for it in this game, or do you mean something else? The general says, apart from management, only the captain should speak out, so most should shut up and step up. Ekatike, ooh, just over. Yeah, the thing is with Salah, it was a very silly thing to do. I was furious as soon as I heard those comments, to the point where the comments came out on Saturday evening. I was so annoyed that I did a unplanned stream on Sunday where I was moaning about his comments for 3 hours. That stream's probably still on YouTube. Yeah, it is actually. But I was just so annoyed, I just had to do a stream. Oh, Ekatike is so good. Pass to Salah. Oh, you messed up the pass though. Salah shot. Saved. Yeah, Salah's doing a lot better in this game. Yeah, he is tracking back, and he looks like he's got a lot more energy. He just had a good shot there. Cut inside on his left. Unfortunately, down the middle. Ollie says, remember to watch the Scotland-Denmark highlights. Yeah, let me make a note of it. I've made a note of it so I don't forget. Corner though. I thought that was Gakpo taking. Salah's taking the corner. Have you ever seen Salah take a corner before? Ekatike, ooh, was that Ekatike or Van Dijk? Ekatike scored again. What's going on? This guy I was slating in the summer, saying why are we wasting money on this guy? I just scored again. Salah got an assist on his goodbye game. But dang. Jesus of Nazareth, man. This guy's good. He got so much height on the header. I was thinking, is that Van Dijk or is that Ekatike? But it's Ekatike. Ekatike from the Salah cross. Salah crossed it in. This guy, that's 2 goals for him today. Yeah, I was thinking, I swear he scored 2 goals the other day, 4 and 2. Let's go, man. To be fair to Ekatike, whenever he's on the pitch, he seems to deliver. He's becoming practically undroppable at this point. Man, I should have gotten Ekitike. I had my mouse cursor over him when I was editing my FPL team, but I felt like if I was to add him to my team, then suddenly he'd stop scoring. It's one of those things. I just know if I'd added him to my team, he would have gotten injured. Ekitike is too good. I agree. You triple captain Ekitike, dang. You might be getting quite a few points today. Can I show the highlights now? They won't let me put the highlights on. Steven says, I promise to talk over you, laugh at my own jokes, say the same thing 3 times just like a pro commentator. I think you can get a job at Sky with that. You just need to put that on your CV, and Sky and BT would be desperate to have you. You might need to add a 4th point though. Just say that you love cliches. Add things in about it being a game of 2 halves. And then you're golden. Matt says we don't need Isak, but we spent the money, so he's got to step up. I don't know what's going on with his fitness. He seems to play a game and then get a knock, and then not play the next game, and then recover, play a game, get a knock, miss the next game. It's very stop-start. I almost feel like he just needs a run in the team to get that fitness up. Brighton making a sub. Aiden's had a fluke of the weekend. I mean, I wouldn't call it a fluke. I think it's good management by you. Good planning. You can add a team badge on FPL, says Bailey. I don't think I've added a badge. I think I've just got a generic blank space on mine. Donny says Chiesa, Rio in, slot out. As in, do you want Chiesa to be... As in... For some reason, I thought you meant Chiesa as the manager. But you mean Chiesa on the pitch. I would like to see Chiesa get a bit more game time. I don't know what that poor guy has to do just to get a bit of game time. Hopefully he can come on today. I can't lie, the Rio situation is a bit weird because he had a very good pre-season and he was heralded as the second coming, but he just does not seem to have been given a chance. Oh, defend that, please. It's defended. Yeah, Aiden's won the jackpot this week. Why did Kanate get carded? He makes a lot of lapses in judgment. It links to what I was saying earlier. Sometimes people call these players intelligent. They're not intelligent. that word just gets thrown around far too much. He's physically he's great. Mentally he seems a bit simple. He just doesn't seem... He rarely seems to think more than 2 steps ahead. I believe they refer to them as brain farts, but he does have quite a few of those. I could understand this if he was younger, but you would have to say he's getting into his prime now and is still doing it. So unfortunately, he's going to probably continue to do it. Pixel hopes King Salah scores. I hope he doesn't because I've taken him out of my team. But I guess for nostalgia's sake, it would be nice to see him score. He's through here. He's through. Ooh, good defending. Yeah, again, Kanate playing like doo-doo. Yeah, I can probably say the latter word. Probably not the first one, although I've probably said that a few times. But yes, we will go with doo-doo. Or trash or garbage. Or I was going to say or Everton, but that's probably too harsh. Oh, saved. He's brainless, and I hope somebody comes in January. That Brighton attack is because Kanate was pirouetting like a ballerina. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you have no competition, and hopefully a bit of competition comes in January. That is a hilarious name, which I'm not going to read out. We will call you Michael. Michael says, what would you say is the best match this weekend? I'd go for this one, but I'm a bit biased. I don't know if there are any interesting games tomorrow, but we can have a look, as Michael has requested that. If I was unbiased, or probably Palace Man City. Probably Palace Man City. If I was a neutral, I'd perhaps be leaning towards that game. Bailey's describing Konate there. Michael says, nobody want to join Liverpool in January. That's unlikely. We'll see what happens in January. Personally, like I said, 2 centre-backs in January, Gehi and Diomande. Yes, I believe you said this the other day. Is Diomande still at Sporting these days? I'll be honest, I'd take one. I'd be happy with one. I just feel like in January, players are a lot more expensive. They command a higher premium. So I'd be happy with one. I'd be happier. I'd be happier with 2. But I'd be happy with one. How is Goof auto modded? Let me have a look. Yeah, why? It came up with the sometimes it says, do you want to allow it or disallow it? I've allowed it, but I've got it on medium. I've got the filtering on Twitch on medium. Maybe I need to put it down to low or something. Ah, yeah, the Tyne-Wear derby. Sunderland, Newcastle, man. Bailey also thinks Sunderland, Newcastle. What time is that on? 2:00? I could do. I need to. I mean, if people want to see it, Pixel wants to see it, Bailey wants to see it. Reluctant Gamer's also a Newcastle fan, man. And Finley's also a Newcastle fan. So I can certainly do that. I'll have to make a note though, because otherwise I'll forget. What we're looking at? Sunderland, Newcastle. It's at 2:00, which is good. It means I can I can still do my household tasks in the evening. So that was what it was kind of dependent on. Is Diomande not going AFCON? That's a good point. What nationality is Diomande? Ivory Coast. I don't like that though. If I search for Diomande, it says 70 million. That's a bit pricey. That's a bit pricey, isn't it? Pixel says stream it tomorrow, please, and has presented a happy emoji to go with that. So I guess I have to now. First time in a while Sunderland and Newcastle have met. It has been a while, hasn't it? Who's at home? Who's at home for that one? You know how is Maccombs like a derogatory term? I don't think it is. But the Maccombs are at home. Okay, I shall be here tomorrow. No, it sounds like it should be. It sounds like it should be, but it isn't. Is that Leipzig? When did that happen? Diomande. Nice, that's Sporting. Yeah. There's quite a few Diomandes. I believe it's a common surname, like Smith type of deal. Yeah, there's Usman Diomande. That's the one I was thinking for. And Jan plays for Leipzig. I see. Yeah, it can get quite confusing at times. Oh yeah. You could be right. Yeah, Lukeba, as Bailey said, Lukeba, I believe, is one of the RB clubs. But yeah, we'll go with Leipzig. Yeah, this guy Castello Lukeba. Isak's coming on. 15, 20 minutes to grab a goal. Yeah, he is quite good. I wanted Liverpool to maybe look at him in the summer, or in the past summer that's just gone. But I don't know how much he'd cost. I presume he'd be quite expensive. Boom! If Isak scores, I'm sorted for my FPL. He's in my FPL as well. I'm starting to think maybe I should have gone with the other striker, but never mind. I've got him up front in my team today. Haaland is my perpetual captain. I very rarely mess with captain. I just keep captain on Haaland permanently, and that seems to have done me well so far. A lot of Brighton attacks here. I would not mind if this is. I mean, if Brighton are hammering the Liverpool goal, it's an opportunity for a counter attack, and surprise, that's what happens. Wirtz to Salah. Pass it to Wirtz, please. Nope, he goes for a shot. I was going to say that's why you're getting sold, but that feels a bit disrespectful. But ultimately, that is why you're getting sold, because Wirtz was free. Wirtz had an easy goal, but no, you decided to smack it at the goal, and it got blocked. You've got both. Nice. Oh, Ekitike is on the floor, holding his hamstring. I don't like that very much. Ooh, that was almost a goal for Salah. Crossed by Szoboszlai, but the keeper just kind of caught it. I won't lie, I hate Haaland. He reminds me of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Interesting. What about him reminds you of Van Nistelrooy? I've never made that link in my head. Does he? I guess maybe he kind of looks like him. He's got a bit of a long nose-ish. Is it the way he plays, or is it maybe the way he acts? He's like Lukaku. Is Lukaku still at Inter? He can't be, because what is going on with Lukaku these days? Where is he? What is the deal with Lukaku? He's at Napoli. I feel like I should have known that. I did know that, but I just completely forgot. The way he plays and the way he acts, fair enough. Vert's coming off, Isak coming on. H Army says, is the Salah stuff resolved all of a sudden? To be honest with you, I don't think so. I think this is going to be his last game. They randomly showed a bunch of Asian people in the crowd, and I suspect that's his family. So if his family has come to watch this game, that would lead me to believe this is his last game. Robertson's also coming on. The Lakaka memes, they were proper funny back in the day. Ekitike off, Vert off. Isak on, Robertson on. I feel like Salah's gone. I've taken him out of my fantasy team. If Salah was staying, I would not take him out of my team. But I believe he's gone that much. I've taken him out because I don't believe he's going to play any games after this. Zaim says, Kirkes is the definition of by hook or by crook, entertaining but very nervy watching him. I almost feel like Kirkes would have been the perfect Jurgen Klopp player. Ooh, made a good tackle there, Kirkes. He would have been the perfect Jurgen Klopp player in terms of he does have technical attributes. That's probably not the best of what he can do, but he's aggressive as hell. He's full of energy. He never gives up. He would have been the perfect Klopp player. But unfortunately, that time is gone. To Moreno-ish. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'd forgotten about that guy. Alberto Moreno, number 18. I'm willing to give him a pass to a certain degree because it's his first season in a new team. But I hope he doesn't turn out like Moreno. I thought Moreno was terrible. Salah to Isak. Ooh, just a bit too much on that. Liverpool have had some good left backs back in the day. Obviously Robertson, Fabio Aurelio, I always quite liked. From free transfer from Valencia, if I recall. John Arisa, obviously very good. But to be honest with you, Moreno was one that I liked the least. Dasseno was terrible, but he did get that goal against Man United. I'm just trying to go through the list to see, is there recently anybody that made me more anxious than Moreno? But I don't think so. Moreno was such a Brendan Rodgers type of signing as well. He seems so unstable, like a proper Brexit means Brexit left back. Yeah, the Hungarian Brexiteer. I feel like that is an interesting concept. I'm willing to give him a bit of time. I'm willing to give him a bit of time. Hamza, also known as, is that Hasbullah? I think that might be Hasbullah. Ekitike 130, Isak 80 top deals. Yeah, that's definitely the way the way around it was. Yeah, is that Ali Sissoko? He was rubbish as well, to be fair. I don't know why I'm hating on people. Oh my god, I can't believe I'd forgotten. Paul Konchesky's the worst one. Paul Konchesky was garbage, and I'm not just talking about his haircut or his lack of hair. Jose Enrique, to be fair, when he was signed from Newcastle, he was alright. Like, he was quite good. He felt like an upgrade above whoever was there before him. Jose Enrique. He's very good at Newcastle, and I think he had some good performances at Liverpool. But yeah, Paul Konchesky. Can't believe I'd forgotten that. To be honest, I'd probably forgotten that because my brain was protecting me from the trauma of remembering that bold fraud. So you've reignited trauma back into my brain that my brain had been trying to get rid of. I feel like that should be illegal, but that's okay. I'll let it slide. Yeah, Konchesky was terrible. 2 left backs on, why not? Where is Robertson? Robertson's left wing by the looks of it. Surely that's the wrong way around. Surely if you have both Robertson and Kerkez on the left, you want Kerkez to be the more attacking player and Robertson to be the more defensive one. Chiesa's coming on. Thank the Lord. Who remembers Sacco? Is that Mamadou Sacco? Number 17? Sacco, I don't know if it was Football Manager, Championship Manager 4 or Championship Manager 5. He was very good. There was some sort of Football Manager game before Liverpool signed him where he was a wonder kid. He was amazing. When Liverpool got him, he was alright. Sacco was a bit clumsy. But I preferred him over Skirtle. Enrique was boss to me. I thought Enrique was good. To be honest. He was very good at Newcastle, and I also think he had some good performances at Liverpool. Retro Gamer says, hi, what retro games do you play? You know, when you're getting old, I realize I'm getting old because a lot of the games I grew up playing are now considered retro games. PS2 is considered retro. PS3 is also considered retro. So that's how I know I'm getting old. What's your favorite retro game? I'm curious. Yeah, Aurelio did play left back, yeah. Yeah, Sacco was a centre back. I think he might have played 1 or 2 games left back, but primarily a centre back, you are correct. He's taking Dom off, WTF. Taking our best player off, bit of a risk. Sacco was a wonder kid. I remember before Liverpool signed him, there was some sort of Football Manager game, and Mamadou Sacco was the defender that you would always sign. And when Liverpool signed him, I was like, yeah, this guy was amazing on Football Manager. He was still quite good at Liverpool. I appreciate he had that falling out with Klopp, but I generally remember Sacco quite fondly. Roy Hodgson era deserves to be forgotten. I have 100% purged that. 100% purged that from my brain. The Roy Hodgson era. Christian Poulsen, Paul Konchesky, Joe Cole. Oh my God, Joe Cole is like, I've forgotten about that. In my brain. If you go in my brain, the first manager I grew up with was Roy Evans. It went Roy Evans, then Gerard Houllier, Roy Evans together as co-managers. Then Gerard Houllier became permanent manager. He won a treble in 1999. Appreciate it was not the treble. Then Gerard Houllier to Rafa Benitez to Kenny Dalglish, Kenny Dalglish to Brendan Rodgers to Klopp to Slot. In my brain, there's no Roy Hodgson. Lazar Markovic signed for Liverpool just as YouTube compilations were appearing. That's the time that Lazar Markovic appeared. I remember being so excited about this Lazar Markovic guy. He did that bicycle kick where he hit the bar, but other than that, not much. How you doing, Daz? Who do you think starts on the right when Liverpool lose Mo to AFCON? To be honest with you, I reckon this is Salah's last game. because Salah's family is in the crowd. Unless it's just a random bunch of Asian people, but I don't think I don't think so. I think it's Salah's family in the crowd. I think Salah's gone after this, to be honest with you. What I think will happen is Liverpool in the last few games, they haven't really played with wingers. They've played more of a 4-4-2. They've played Isak and Ekitike together centrally. What has happened is the attacking midfielder, whether it's McAllister, whether it's a Bosley, has gotten into the middle of that and has formed an extra striker. And I don't know if I've explained that terribly, which I suspect I may have done. But I think it'll be more of a 4-4-2 rather than a dedicated right winger. Saved. Oh my god, LMA manager. That game was rubbish. I remember having that on PS1. That was rubbish. Speaking of rubbish, Poulsen was also rubbish. Frimpong is unfortunately injured, but should be back soon. Fingers crossed. Ollie says, remember me. I do remember you. How are you doing? Did you go to Glen Rothes? Did you go to Glen Rothes this week? You were saying you were going to go for football training. Milner is back on the pitch. What's one player you wanted to come to Liverpool that was heavily linked? Mine was Konor Plianka. Is he the Ukrainian winger? He was linked every window for what felt like a decade. My one was Simão. There was this Portuguese winger called Simão Sabrosa, and Rafa Benitez was about to sign him from, I can't remember the exact Portuguese club, from Benfica, I believe. So Simão was about to be signed from Benfica. And he got on the plane to Liverpool, and it's when he got on the plane that the deal was pulled, and then he ended up never signing for Liverpool. So Simão is one that sticks in my mind a lot. Simão Sabrosa. I'm going back about 20 years though with that. Dad says, is it just one match for Bradley? To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. But I hope so. I hope so. The more players Liverpool have available, the stronger they are. You went to Glen Rothes. Nice. How was it? Did you have a good time? You wanted Konor Plianka. I'm glad we didn't sign him because I probably never would have pronounced his name correctly. Kvaratskhelia, yes. In terms of recent times, generally speaking, I'm not disappointed when other teams sign a player. I'm like, whatever, who cares? But with Kvaratskhelia, I can't lie, I was a bit disappointed. I thought he would have been perfect for Liverpool, and Liverpool were getting Mamardashvili at the same time, and I thought, might have a little Georgian connection going on. We've already got a Hungarian connection, might have a Georgian connection as well, but unfortunately it was not to be. I would have loved Kvaratskhelia. Pixel is craving a nice buttery, salty pretzel. Can't lie, now I may also be craving one. Do you have a go-to pretzel spot in New Jersey, or do you just? Is it a case of you can just get one from anywhere? Oh, you gotta find one. Fair enough. Atletissima. He might have gone to Atleti. Let's have a look. I remember his name was Simão Sabrosa, and I believe he played for Benfica. Yeah, he did go to Atlético Madrid. 2007 to 2010. Let's see if the stuff about the Liverpool move is on here. There's a bit on there if you see that top bit there. So the 2005 summer transfer window. So I'm going back 20 years. Daz says what's been added on 8 minutes, which is a lot to be fair. 8 minutes, and we're just approaching 92 minutes. So if you see that there, the 2005 summer transfer window, Simao was targeted by Liverpool in an offer worth approximately 12 million. Oh, Salah just hit it over. You were 2 yards out, bro. You were 2 yards out. I could have scored that. I won't be disrespectful and say it's time to go, but bro, that's a tap in. And was it Chiesa who basically had the assist? It was Chiesa there. It was Chiesa who basically gave Salah a tap in. I could have scored that. It was on his left foot as well. Oh, that's disappointing. It would have been a nice fairy tale ending. But anyway, Simao was targeted by Liverpool, though negotiations reportedly failed over Benfica's asking price. The story back in the day was that he got on the plane. The deal was all done, got on the plane, and that's when the deal got pulled. So he's always the one that got away for me. Ollie says, guess what position I'm in? For some reason, I was about to say left back. Left back was the first thing that came to my head. Probably because Liverpool have 2 left backs on the pitch right now. So I'm going to go with that. It's time to go. After that miss, I was like, come on. There's that old song, isn't there, called Time to Say Goodbye. Oh, for F's sake, Salah sums up his season. It's just, yeah. It was such an easy tap in, and it would have been like such a nice kind of positive ending, and that's annoying. I can't lie. That's frustrating. Zaim says Chiesa passing there for Salah's send off. What a respectful human being, indeed. What a respectful human being. What a collaborative teammate. Just to hit that over the bar, that was so easy. It was a tap in from 2 yards. Now Kirkes is on the floor. Your goalkeeper, nice. Do you enjoy playing in goal? Or would you rather play a different position? Kirkes is on the floor. Speaking of goalkeepers, Mamadashvili is on the bench, but he's not coming on. They're just showing his face. Kirkes is alright though, thankfully. I knew he wasn't gonna be good this year. He got lucky last year. To be fair, I think last year he just had a generational season, and he was physically in the right place and he was mentally in the right space as well. Sometimes if those 2 elements come together, you can have a positive outcome. But Chiesa again, good pass. Why does Chiesa not play more? His passing is amazing. Good. Salah lost the ball, which to be fair, no problem. But then Chiesa just continues dribbling and passes it to Isak, and unfortunately nothing happened. But why does Chiesa not get more game time? Ali enjoys playing in goal. Good stuff. It's a lot of responsibility, I can't lie, but if you enjoy it, that's what matters. It's the most important thing. Boom, we are back. Watch out, Arsenal. Is that our ambition? Second place. It should be watch out, Man City. If Liverpool don't win the league, I do think it will be City. Counter attack opportunity here. Pass it to Robertson. Pass the ball. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, man. What's he doing, man? Like, bro, this is why you're not in the team. It's like counter. Robertson's like right next to him here, yeah. Robertson right next to him here. It's like Salah, pass the ball to Robertson. Pass the ball to Robertson, who's right there. Don't dribble forward. Pass the ball to Robertson. And he fluffs it up. Passes it too late. Van Dijk's annoyed, I'm not surprised. Guess my position, I'm going to say right wing. Remember to watch Scotland versus Denmark. Indeed, I have made a note of that. Because if I don't make a note, I will forget, but I have made a note. What's wrong with Slot? All season, Chiesa should have been our right winger. It's a good question. Whenever Chiesa comes on, he's so good. He's so effective. He's so energetic. Like he doesn't look unfit. He looks like he's raring to go. He looks like he could run a mile. So why does he not play? I got a suspicion that Chiesa has pictures of Slot with hair. And he's probably threatening Slot with the pictures where Slot's got hair. That must be the reason. Yeah, what the hell was that, man? How did we play today? How was Salah? I mean, a win's a win. It looks like this is going to be a 2-0 win. Salah came off the bench for Gomez, who got injured. It looked better than recently. But still missed a few chances. Jinxie says, why does bro look sad? To be honest, I really wanted Salah to score that. He had a golden opportunity to score that or pass that, and unfortunately he fluffed it up. I want him to have a fairy tale ending because I feel like this is his last game. Yeah, even Van Dijk was like, what are you doing, bro? I think Van Dijk ran all the way from his own half to maybe get the pass, and it's just like, bro, swear word? Did I swear? I didn't even realize. I have no recollection of swearing. What did I say? Did I say WTF? I genuinely have no recollection of that. Which is kind of funny and also worrying. Slot has played his hand perfectly, letting Salah dig his own... You are correct. All the pressure a week ago was on Slot. And if Salah truly wanted this manager gone, all he needed to do was just keep quiet a few more weeks, and then the manager would have been gone. But unfortunately, full time. Another win. But as you were saying, Slot would have got criticised by the fan base if he didn't play Salah today. It was a brainless thing to do. It was a completely brainless thing to do. 2 weeks ago, or perhaps 1 week ago, all the pressure was on Salah. Sorry, not on Salah. All the pressure was on Slot. And by Salah making himself the biggest villain, suddenly there's no pressure on Slot. Now all the pressure's on Salah. It was a brainless thing to do. He took a risk, like he took a shot and he missed. That's is that, yeah. Oh wow. Okay. I don't have any recollection of that, but it sounds like something I'd say. You might, now that you've said it, it's ringing a bit of a bell in my head. So yeah, I think you might be right. Best game ever, Scotland versus Denmark. Yeah, I've made a note. I will watch the highlights this evening. I'll be honest. I will watch the highlights this evening. Finley says, to be fair, as much as I hate Ekatike for going for Hughes, he is absolutely class. I'll be honest, Ekatike is making me eat my words. In the summer, I was like, who's this fraud? He's not good at anything. I've watched Frankfurt play and I can't see what this guy's good at. Is he really worth 70 million? So he's making me look silly. But wouldn't be the first person to do that. But whenever he gets on the pitch, he seems to score, which is good to see. Is this really Mr. Default? Because he hasn't said United, so I have to verify. And like, oh yes, it is. It is. I just had to verify because that's the code word. That's how you know it's the real Mr. Default, not a imposter. Oh my God, there may be a hint of sarcasm here. Oh my God, Salah did something. Salah is so back. I can't lie. I watched the game. He did nothing. He didn't start the game. He came on as a sub for Gomez, who got injured. He didn't really do. He was a bit better. He was a bit better than the previous performances, but what sticks out the most is he missed a few. He missed a few easy chances that I could have scored. To be honest with you, I suspect this is Salah's last game. There was either, well, here's the thing. There was either a bunch of Asian people in the crowd or it was Salah's family. I think it was Salah's family. So I think his family was there, which would lead us to believe this is his last game, I think. Yes, the timer. That is true, because then people always get confused. There you go. Ekatikas, is that a, would that be an adjective to describe it? Reluctant Gamer says, congratulations for the victory. This seemed like a pretty comfy win after quite some time. Maybe this is the turnaround. I think Ekatike should start constantly. You think Isak will start next? The thing is, the formation has changed. Since Salah got dropped, the formation has changed. That's the main thing. Liverpool used to play a 4-2-3-1. And to be honest, what they are playing now is a 4-4-2 diamond. Since they've gone unbeaten, it's not just because they dropped Salah, it's also because they're playing a 4-4-2 diamond. So what that ultimately means is both Isak and Ekatike together. So Isak was slightly injured today, so he didn't start the game. But the last game against Inter, it was Ekatike and Isak together. So I think they'll continue to both start. Jody Jean says, how's Salah been today? A bit better, but to be honest, still not great. Missed quite a few obvious chances. Brighton goal after full time. Yeah, Ekatike and Tekkers. Mr. Default says, weird, why Slot played Salah though after anything? I suspect this is his last game because his family was in the crowd. So I genuinely think this was his last game. We have to remember, Salah didn't start the game. Salah came off the bench. So Salah came on as a sub. I think Slot just played him because it's his last game. And it's the right thing to do. Jody Jean says, as a Jody, well then the username is correct. I don't see Isak gelling into the squad. He's a lazy player, so frustrating to watch. I want to see him get a bit of fitness. Right now, it's very stop-start, to be honest with you. He'll play a game, and then he'll get a knock, and then he's not available for the next game. And then he'll be on the bench for the third game, and then he'll start the fourth game, and then he'll get a knock. So it's difficult at the moment to put a run of games together. Reluctant Gamer says, Liverpool can still win the league. The table is very tight. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so Liverpool in sixth. Appreciate the games played don't 100% line up. Liverpool up to sixth. But you are correct. The table is extremely tight at the moment. People think it's just Arsenal and City can win the league. They're both teams that can drop several points throughout the season. Agree 1,000%. A lot of luck has to go into winning the league, and part of luck is not getting injuries. Anybody could get injuries, and if you get a few injuries in key positions, that can practically be your season over. I generally am quite a deluded person, I would say. And being a deluded person, I tend to not give up until it's mathematically impossible. But I'm glad this team is winning games now. Felt like Ekitike played as a 10 today and Wirtz played the 9. There was definitely a bit of interchangeability. I don't know if that's a word. And if it's not a word, I've just created a word. There was definitely a bit of interchangeability there. Salah was really good, just got a bit unlucky at the end. He was better than what he has recently shown. But I just wish he would have converted some of those chances. Salah was not bad today. He was better than previous games, but I still wish he would have done a bit more. I think they should start Ekitike and Isak. Isak needs his fitness and stay injury free. I do think that is the first choice combination. Unfortunately, Isak does seem to be getting a few knocks here and there, a few injuries here and there, small injuries, which makes it a bit harder to put a run of games together. But I agree, long term or even short term, that's what I want to see. Will Ekitike's versatility allow him to play across the front line? It will, but it feels like Liverpool are evolving to more of a 4-4-2 now rather than a 4-3-3. So kind of both positions are striker. Korab says Salah needs to learn when to pass. If you passed it earlier, we would have scored 3-1. You are correct. That is correct. Unfortunately, I suspect this is Salah's last game because his family was in the crowd, so I think that might be his last game. Ilyas says, hope Chiesa gets more minutes. Whenever Chiesa comes on, he looks so good. He should have gotten an assist for Salah today. Unfortunately, Salah couldn't convert. But what is the beef? What is the beef and the problem with Salah? With Chiesa. Chiesa is great. So I agree. I want to see him get a bit more time. Is that Hamzat? Is that Islam? Yeah, it's two balls, so it must be Islam Makachev. Islam says, brother, I don't get why we signed Isak, brother. We should send him Dagestan 2-3 years and forget. Maybe one time we can call him. Grace says, how are you? Better than I was 2 hours ago. It was a good win. 2 goals for Ekitike, so I'm super happy about that. But yeah, all good. Happy days. I'm going on holiday next week, so I'm excited for that. I've been peer pressured into doing a Newcastle Sunderland stream tomorrow, so I'll be back for that due to peer pressure. But other than that, all good. How are you? Ben says, how is that not a red? Which one specifically? T says, everyone look good. That's a fair way to put it. When everyone looks good, then you can also accommodate drops in performances better, because it means, okay, if only one guy's doing bad, the rest of the 10 are good. Hopefully Semenyo joins. I think that's accurate. I think that will happen. Reluctant Gamer says, I think if Isak and Ekitike, they got to be less greedy and help each other and the team and get as many goals with the team. Yes, I think it's important when you're playing as part of a front two. That front two, in a certain way, needs to be one unit that is working in tandem. So they'll need time to develop that chemistry and develop that coordination, I think. Salah fluffing those passes, normality will be restored too. I to be honest, I reckon he's gone. Islam Makachev says, we're undefeated in 4, brother. We're winning the league, brother. I like the confidence. I genuinely... The league table is very close at the moment, and I'm a bit deluded generally. I don't give up until it's mathematically impossible. Korab says Atlético was insanely good today, and he was also insanely good the last game. Newcastle Sunderland is going to be the game of the season. That's what everyone's saying. So I've been peer pressured to go live for that game. I wasn't planning to, but I shall be here. Oh yeah, the words chance. Yeah, refereeing is not great. Grace says, "Oh, where are you going?" I'm going to Italy next week. Rome, Naples, and Tivoli. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna get proper fat. I can't lie. I plan to eat pizza every day. I plan to eat ice cream every day. So the next time you see me, not tomorrow, but next week, you might see a couple of extra chins, but I will do my best to work them off the month after. T says we can combine anywhere on the pitch but the opponent box. We need to get a lot cleaner there. We do. I'm willing to accept improvements in steps. I'm willing to accept that it's going to be an incremental process. I'm just happy they're starting to at least... I'm just happy they are starting to at least keep clean sheets now. And I think that's something they can build upon. Reluctant Gamer says, check that movie called The Thing. I have got that one. That is next on my list to watch. It's 1982 or something, it said, which is perfectly fine. But I have got that next to watch. Check the reviews. Yeah, it got very good reviews. But to be honest, after you said to watch it, that was enough for me to say, okay, I will give that a go. But it is next on my list. Murat says, Arda Güler is that to Man City? Arda Güler, Haaland super duo. Are you a Man City fan, or are you a Madrid fan, or are you a Turkey fan? I predict it's probably the latter. Arda Güler the best. What type of fee should they expect for that? Ekatike is an absolute baller. He's proving everyone wrong, including me. Before we signed him, I thought he was rubbish, but he's really, really good. I don't know, just woke up. We need to provide clarity to that. I believe I don't know resides on the west coast of the US, so he hasn't woken up at 5:15. It's pretty early for him. I just woke up and saw a 2-0 win. The shock in my face, undefeated in 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws. Indeed, and that coincides with Salah being dropped. So maybe people should let the manager do the managing, because proof is in the pudding. Oh, you are a Galatasaray fan. You love Arda Güler. Nice. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's a very good player, especially for his age, but also generally. Ekatike needs to improve his passing. And we've got the second coming of Ronaldo Nazario. Wow, Ekatike's waste is going to be massive then in about 20 years. I'm just trying to think through the comparisons with Ronaldo, as in Brazilian Ronaldo. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. The good thing about Ekatike, he's very young. I think he's about... For some reason, I'm thinking he's 22, but that's his shirt number. What's his actual age? Hugo Ekatike. 23. He's still... He's still very young for a striker. 23 is nothing. Can't lie, he is proving everybody wrong. Murat is a Galatasaray fan. Have you got a favorite Galatasaray player? Is Osimhen at Galatasaray, or am I remembering that wrong? To be fair, you did beat us 1-0, so I should I should say fair. I mean, you did do really well there. My first decision was to check if you were streaming. That's a good decision. That's a good decision. If you're ever unsure, just check on YouTube, because on YouTube I have to create the stream before going live. So if you're ever unsure, just check on there. You'll see it the day before, or if I'm feeling lazy, you'll see it in the same morning. Duke says Ekatike reminds me of Anelka. Yeah, okay, I see that. I see the French connection as well. And deadly in front of goal, good finisher, and I mean this as a compliment, but kind of a no nonsense type of striker, and I mean that as a compliment. I think I see the Anelka links. He feels a bit Anelka-ish, a bit Torres-ish. Maybe I think somebody earlier said Ronaldo. I'd have to think about that, but I see the Anelka Torres link. Yeah, Torres. Yeah, just joking about R9. Second coming of R9. I mean, maybe R9 was like the, I don't know, the previous coming of Ekatike. maybe that's how we phrase it. Yeah, Torres. Yeah, I think you're right. He doesn't quite seem as fast. He's still fast, but Torres was. I just remember how fast Torres' legs used to move when he was dribbling, and it was very quick. Murat says, Arda new season, Arsenal or Man City. You tell me, where would you like him to go? Where would you like him to go? I don't know. Says bet. I'm gonna start adding that to my vocabulary soon. Just bet. Shai says defo not deadly, as in Ekatike or somebody else. R9 used to grow up watching Ekatike play. It's like the Chuck Norris memes, but for Ekatike. T says R9 was just too explosive. I don't think we've seen a player like that. Maybe Rio's dribbling. The way he would go from 0 to 100 in a flash, and also be very strong. He was very quick, but also very strong as a striker. I guess he was kind of unique in that sense. Maybe Suarez was maybe a bit like that at certain times, but I think Ronaldo was quite unique. Yeah, Ekatike definitely could have had 7 today, as Ishmael is saying. He's in such good form right now as well that I don't think he can be dropped. We're gonna need to see him start every single game. T says Ekatike took loads of shots, so I wouldn't say clinical, but I get what you mean about no nonsense. Yeah, I meant it more in terms of he seems kind of single focused in terms of just putting the ball back in the back of the net. He's not too kind of flashy. He's more I need to stick that in the back of the net, so that's what I'm gonna do. Reminded me of Mbappe today. Could have had about 7. Well, Mbappe might need to look out for his national team spot at this point. Ben says Sky Sports says Salah shined is embarrassing. He was woeful as per, missed a sitter and assist. I thought to be honest, I didn't think he was all that great today. He was better than what he did in previous games, but there was that Chiesa cross. I think Salah really should have converted. There was that counter attack where he had Robertson and he had Van Dijk, and he really should have passed it a bit earlier, and he unfortunately put a bit too much weight on it. He was okay. He was okay, but I think saying that he shone is probably too far. But I wouldn't. Sky Sports in particular, I feel like they used to be a respectable establishment back in the day, but now I feel like they've just devolved into clickbait. They'll just say whatever gets the most clicks, regardless of whether it's correct or not. It's unfortunate. I think Sky used to be good back in the day, but not anymore. 4 goals in 2. A beast indeed. I don't know, says R9 used to watch Ekitike play. Ronaldo used to grow up watching Ekitike. Pele used to watch Ekitike play. Yeah, we might. It is just funny. But Ekitike is in very good form. To be fair, I did forget about the cross. That was a nice cross. To be honest, I think you're both right. I think Salah's cross was good. It was a good assist. And I appreciate he's performing in front of his family. And I honestly think this is going to be his last game. So maybe that had something to do with it. But in general, if Sky are saying that Salah shone today, I think they're going too far. Like he didn't shine. He didn't shine. The miss from the Chiesa cross is a bit annoying, and fluffing up the counter attack is a bit annoying. If I had to give him a score, if it wasn't for the assist, I'd maybe give much of a lower score. With the assist, I don't know. It makes it a lot harder. Dang, everybody loving Ekitike, which is good to see. Liverpool for the league. It's not impossible. He played well and was energized. Indeed he did. Put Maka through pretty much immediately. By his standards, he should have scored, assisted another player, but it's fine. It is what it is. Like Salah was okay. I think Sky Sports are going too far saying that he shone. The thing is with media and written media in particular, they will always go to extremes because extremes get clicks, right? So they're either gonna say Salah shone, or they're gonna say Salah was absolutely terrible. It's just unfortunately, it's the way written media works these days when it's all about clicks. Do you think Liverpool will qualify for the Champions League again? 100%. To be honest, I don't. I genuinely, and I don't know for certain, but I genuinely do not think he'll be back. I got a feeling today might be his last game. I don't know. I mean, I don't know for definite, but it's just a feeling that I got. And Ikram agrees, so that's good to hear. He says, what do you think about Isak's cameo? For me, he's not really convincing. I don't know how fit he is, because he seems to play a game, then get a knock, and then bench the next game, then get a knock, then miss the third game. I suspect a lot of this is perhaps down to fitness. So if he's not fit, there's a tendency to, I think, in football, if player A does good, therefore player B must be rubbish. I'm happy to have both of them. I'm happy to have both Ekitike and Isak. What I want to see happen is, I think that's fine. I think that's fair. Today, there's nothing in particular that he made one good run. There was one good run where maybe Salah overhit the ball, but nothing particularly blew me away, and I'd agree. But if a player has injury concerns, which I think Isak has, because Isak was on the bench today because he had a knock, on the left, you remember the same one. For me, I almost can't judge a player. Until he has had a consistent run in the team. Unfortunately, it's just an unfortunate situation that we got to deal with. He has some fitness concerns, but thankfully Ekitike is delivering the goods, and thankfully Wirtz is getting a bit more confidence in the team. Yeah, Wirtz was good. Maybe not his best ever game. I think his best game might still be that West Ham one, but it was good. It was good. Fish says we lost. No, we did not. We won. Fish says F Tesco. I thought Tesco was your favorite supermarket. You were saying that you ranked Tesco above Morrison's, above Asda, above Aldi, above Lidl, and above Marks and Spencer. So I don't know. I don't know why you don't like Tesco anymore. SH says, I missed the match. FFS. You missed all the fun. I will update you. I will update you in a minute. Liverpool scored after about 1 minute. Brighton clearance. Gomez headed the clearance back into the box. The ball fell to Ekatike's feet. Ekatike smacked it in 1-0. That is the first minute of the game. Gomez then got injured after about 20 odd minutes. Salah came on. And then in the second half, Salah cross, Ekatike header, 2-0. And that's a cross from a corner, should I say. So it was a good win. To be honest, the game itself was not like super exciting, so you can probably catch the highlights or something. But it was a good win. A clean sheet as well, which is always nice. After Salah assist, he became the player with the most GA for a single club. That is impressive. Yeah, 2 goals. 2 goals for Ekatike today. He is on fire. And I believe the previous Premier League game as well, he also got 2 goals there, which is amazing. So 4 goals in 2. Few runs and touches. This is Isak. Looked okay, but in general a little uninspiring. But you're right. Yeah, it needs time, needs service, and just needs that run of games. I appreciate and can understand. If you play a game, then you get injured, and then you can never really develop rhythm. I did think Wirtz was balling. He can't be touched in the tight spaces. I agree. And I think earlier in the season he could. But I think he's put on a bit of muscle. I think he's added a bit of mass. He looks a bit chunkier than he did at the start. So, and I think these things help in the Premier League. Make him a bit stronger. That's always important. SH says, been meaning to ask, do you have a gaming channel? I do. I will put that. You will see a very different personality there. I'm just warning you ahead of time. You will see a very different personality. I may be mature and sophisticated here, but prepare for F-bombs and worse over there. There you go. That should hopefully work. That should hopefully work as a link for you. Dominic Sabozlai has joined us after completing that game. I hope you're okay. I hope you don't have an injury. Mo was good. I was going to read that in Sabozlai's accent, and I figured I probably shouldn't. Mo was good. The first part, the part of the first half, he played. And up until his assist for Hugo, I don't know what happened. I thought he was alright. I thought he was decent. I would have preferred him to perhaps get a goal. Said Ahmed says, bro, do you remember me? I was studying maths during your stream. Yes, you were doing trigonometry, and I said, just remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you were like, bro, I'm doing sin cos tan. You were saying I'm doing sin cos tan, and I was like, sorry, I can't help you with sin cos tan. Sin 30 equals 0.5. That's all I can help you with. So yeah, I do remember. I've got a good. I do have quite a good memory. Andrew says, Loves taking players off before they get a hat-trick. Did it with Diaz 3 times. Perhaps it keeps them hungrier. Perhaps it keeps them hungrier. Some memory. Where's your gaming channel link? Oh, I posted it on YouTube. I can try posting it on TikTok, but I don't know if it'll let me. But if you search for let's play some games badly, it's a really shite name, I can't lie. I probably need to come up with more of a catchy name. But if you search for that, let's play some games badly, then it should come up. I need a better name because the name sucks. Yeah, Verts is getting stuck in. Verts is getting a bit more confident. SH says, thanks, mate. Looking forward to seeing the content. Sounds good. Oh, you got 93 out of 100. Wow. That's amazing. Good job, man. That is an amazing score. That has to be literally the top grade that you can get. To be fair, you were right. You said because I was saying I can help you, and then you were like, and then you gave me all this complicated math stuff, and I was like, I can't help you with that. And to be fair, you did say I think I got this under control, and you were correct. You were correct. Barcelona hate watch. Oh, nice. Barcelona starting soon. Reluctant Gamer says, I need to follow your gaming channel. Yeah, you do. You 100% do. How often do you go live on that channel? It tends to be more sporadic. It tends to be whenever I have time. Sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week. I think in the past week I've gone live maybe once or twice on there. Maybe once or twice this week. Moscal says, looks like we didn't give up today, huh? Yeah, much better. I think the team is starting to get a bit of confidence, and the team is starting to get a bit of self-belief. And I think that comes from the defense. By having an extra midfielder in the middle of the pitch, you have an extra midfielder to help the defense, and you have an extra midfielder to help the attack. So they definitely look a lot more resolute based on the formation change. Words is fitting in very nicely, says Jeffrey. I agree. I feel like a lot of people just jumped on him instantly because he didn't instantly appear and instantly start scoring 1,000 goals, and I just find that completely unfair and completely ridiculous. But now we're starting to see the value that he can add. He's no nonsense as well. He wears black boots. You don't see everybody else is wearing like bright yellow boots, purple boots, green boots, red boots, orange boots. Verts is like, you know what, mate? I'm gonna keep it simple. Simple boots. I'd love to see a Saints Row 1 and 2 playthrough. That would bring back some nice memories. I can certainly give that a go. I got a gaming PC, so I play everything on PC. But yeah, I could definitely give that a go. I'd see how much I remember from back in the day. Said got 93 out of 100 on his trigonometry test, and he says, bro, it was the second highest in the class. My friend got 40, barely passed. Wow. Your friend, you might need to give your friend a bit of tutoring. But yeah, 93 out of 100, that's amazing. That's really well done. Good to hear. I just saw your last stream, Back 4 Blood. Yes, indeed. So you found the correct channel. Left 4 Dead was my favorite. Back 4 Blood is a new version of Left 4 Dead, which is made. So essentially, some of the old developers from the Left 4 Dead team, they left. They joined another company and they made Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood is literally like Left 4 Dead 3. Even though it's not officially, if that makes sense. Fish is going to retire. Why are you going to retire? I still have to check out your predictions. I need to check out your predictions first. Harry says, rumours say Salah's coming to Villa. I would take him there, to be honest. Who's your current right wing option? You sure you want Salah? You've already got Harvey Elliott. are you going to give us Elliott back and then take Salah on return? Is that the way it works? Mo Scout says, I don't want Salah at the club. He actually performed well this game. I mean, he almost always does, but I still hope he doesn't leave, even though I'm a United fan. Fair enough. I feel like he was better today, but still a 5 out of 10 max, if I'm honest with you. And a lot of that 5 out of 10 comes from the assist. I think it will be gone. I don't know, it says Barcelona game started. I mean, I'm supposed to go in a bit, but I'll put it on anyway. It's Barcelona Osasuna. Take care, side. Enjoy your evening. And nicely done on the test. Salah on loan. I'll be honest, if Salah is to go, it would probably be a permanent deal. Because if Salah was to go on loan, Liverpool would then get him back eventually. And then he'd have less of a contract, and therefore his value would diminish with respect to signing him, if that makes sense. So I think now he's essentially got 2 years of contract left. I think Liverpool will try to maximize that and sell him. SH says, have you got any games in mind for your next playthrough? Good question. Good question. My playthroughs are not particularly organized, and this is probably not a good advert. It's just generally whatever I feel like playing like at that time. So currently I'm playing Back 4 Blood, which is like a zombie survival horror game, which is quite good. There's also a survival horror game that I'm playing through that I'm partway through. So in terms of what I do on the next stream, I haven't quite decided yet. It tends to be quite random. But what I will say is, if I start a game, I do then finish the game. So I don't just like dip into a game and then get bored of it. I will finish a game. I think the next live stream will probably be Back 4 Blood again, which is this zombie game. But I'm open to trying things, 100%. Harry wants Elliott gone. He isn't doing well at Villa, but we've got Marlon. Ah, yes, you do have Marlon. I believe you signed him from Dortmund. The weird thing with Elliott is you gave him the number 9 shirt, which I find a bit odd. But all news seems to indicate Elliott will come back to Liverpool. T says, just watch a bit your Payday 3 with good content. I appreciate that. That's another good game, Payday 3. So Payday 3 is, for those people that are not aware, you're a bank robber. And you break into a bank, and you can either secretly try and break into the bank, or if you F it up, all the police come and you just got to shoot your way out against the cops. But that's another game that I enjoy. You are correct, Harry. I think he'll go Saudi for a bunch of cash. SH says, yeah, that makes sense. I love apocalyptic games. Yeah, they are pretty good. They are pretty good. I'm definitely into more like adult types, generally speaking, like more adult type of games, like 15 plus, 18 plus, more into those. Like a lot of people stereotypically say, can you play EAFC? I'm like, guys, I got no interest in EAFC. It's not violent enough. It's not effed up enough. The game has to be vaguely effed up for me to enjoy it. Vaguely violent or something. Has to have something about it. Most guys had a test last week and I got the biggest score, which is 94%. Wow. And the fact that I didn't study for it and watched you, and then another stream from a guy named Toxmain Lois was 12%. Wow, that's impressive. So you didn't even study for the exam, and you basically got near 100%. Was it your best friend who got 12%? That is kind of funny. But yeah, no, congratulations on that. Good to hear. Take care, Harry. Have a nice evening. I'm going to go as well in a minute or two. The reason I'm going to go in a minute or two is because I've been peer pressured to do the Newcastle game tomorrow. Which means I'm going to have to be here tomorrow to do the Newcastle game. But I'm going to Italy next week and I haven't packed. So I need to do that. I need to do that now. He's been to 2 English clubs in one season. Yeah, that's the thing on Elliot. Yes, he's been to 2 English clubs in one season, so he can't go elsewhere. Would have to be back to Liverpool or MLS Brazil. Yeah, that is a unfortunate situation with Elliot. I'd take him back. I'd take him back at Liverpool. I think he can add value. I still think he's a very good passer. I still think he can come off the bench and make the team better. So I'd favour, if he has to come back, which is what it looks like will happen, then just stick him back in the Liverpool team. Barca are so bad they couldn't score like my club. Yes, your club, which starts with L and ends in L, so starts in and ends with the same letter, are infinitely better than Barcelona. But anyway, I better go now. As I said, I need to pack for my holiday. And I've been peer pressured to do the Newcastle game tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow whenever that is, 2:00, something like that. But yeah, anyway, have a nice evening / nice weekend. Might see some of you tomorrow. I can't stay on for that. I can't stay on for that long. Yeah, I need to. I wish I could, but I've got stuff to do. I've also heard my washing machine has stopped, so I need to go do that. But I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. I don't know. Shit, what's happening here? Yeah. See you tomorrow.